the family. Yeah, they know each other.
The Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, is investigating the incident. Dwayne Anderson, TVG News.
This is bigger than politics. The powerful private sector organization of Jamaica is calling on parliamentarians to put political differences aside and find a solution for the country's high murder rate. The PSOJ is disappointed with the vote to discontinue the state of emergency, but at least one attorney at law believes the opposition did the right thing.
Local business leaders are growing increasingly frustrated that parliamentarians can't agree on a way to curb murders. It follows Friday's Senate vote in which the 8 opposition senators shut down the government's attempt to extend the state of emergency.
Somewhat disappointed. What we would have wanted to see is a Jamaica united around the use of the state of emergency. I think that has shown results. It has shown results in the last week or so. It has shown results in the past.
Where?
And we think we're at a place in this country where people are really tired of the crime and really just want a break. And we thought over the Christmas period it would have been good to give Jamaican people some additional protection.
President of the private sector organization of Jamaica, Keith Duncan, insists the SOEs are needed now.
Until you get murdered, we're in the top 5 homicide globally. Until you get that under control, we are in an emergency situation. And maybe in this state of public emergency, they need to be employed for consistently where we have problem areas for periods of time until we can get the murder rate down so that we can get the legislation which we actually need.
But Attorney at Law Kenyatta Powell disagrees with Mr. Duncan, arguing the opposition was not wrong in how it voted.
The opposition absolutely did the right thing. We fall into this idea by the language that's being used, which is that emergency powers are just another tool in the toolkit that a government can just use whenever it feels like it. That is dangerous. Emergency powers are a specific, extreme measure that the Constitution only allows a government to use in very defined and rather specific circumstances. And none of those circumstances include crime being bad.
He says the government must govern within the confines of the law without taking away the rights of poor Jamaicans in certain communities.
The government must govern within its constitutional bounds. And what the People's National Party has done by voting against this extension is that they're saying, we, the People's National Party, are going to force this government against its will to govern within its constitutional bounds. The government must come up with a strategy, a plan to fight crime that comports with the constitutional limit.
Mr. Duncan, in the meantime, is calling on the government and the opposition to work together.
This is bigger than politics. It's a national crisis that we have for many, many years, and we have normalized it, we accept it, but our politicians don't need to come to the table and work it out. Our Prime Minister needs to sit down with the opposition leader and work this thing through so that we can use these tools when required.
General Manager of Petrojam, Winston Watson, says authorities are addressing a jet fuel problem at Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston. Our news center was informed that the jet fuel problem caused delays in flights arriving at the airport last night. But speaking this afternoon, Mr. Watson insisted that the country has sufficient jet fuel in store and dismissed claims of a fuel shortage. He said the problem was discovered last night.
I'm saying there is no shortage of jet fuel. We had a problem with the fuel in Kingston being off-spec, so we had to bring fuel from one bigger base to Kingston while we try to fix the problem we're having with the off-spec jet fuel that's in Kingston. So there's that problem so much as we had a shortage in Kingston, which as I said, we're working on that.
The female driver of a truck which mowed down a man on Friday, resulting in his death, has been warned for prosecution by the police. The dead man has been identified as O'Neill Hamilton, another adult and 2 primary school children who were also hit by the truck, remain in hospital in serious condition. The deadly accident happened at the intersection of Burlington Avenue and Eastwood Park Road in St. Andrew. It's reported that sometime after 5 p.m., The driver had just finished delivering items at a supermarket and was leaving the establishment on Eastwood Park Road when she lost control of the truck and slammed into the man and the two children. Colin Mackenzie, who works nearby, says he tried to help the injured.
I never saw still about a year. Lord Jesus Christ, when I run come out, I see the man underneath the truck right there, so I when the run come out, them like the woman I try to drive go forward, so I'm after that, so we don't go forward. Here and shot talk to the police still. From now past, here and shot talk to the police, I said, why? She see the children them, but it's like she could have, could have nothing, but she have to just drop on the sidewalk and bleed on yourself. I come up, clear out the word of the wall.
Mr. Mackenzie says other vehicles were damaged by the truck. It's not clear what led to the driver losing control of the truck. In other news, the president of the Jamaica Agricultural Society, Lenworth Fulton, is optimistic about a potential decrease in the prices of certain foods in the Christmas period and beyond. This following a third price cut for the year on fertilizers. Fertilizer manufacturer Newport Fersen Jamaica has announced an average price reduction of 2 to 11% on traditional standard NPK granular fertilizers.
You have more than a month left for Christmas, and there are certain fast maturing crops, callaloo, pak choy, all of these crops, sweet pepper, depends on the state of maturity, tomato, which probably bearing now. If you give them some fertilizer, you push the production, so it's never too late. It's never too late, and remember, we don't live for Christmas alone, A new quarter begin on the 1st of January, that we would like to see a 20%, even 20% growth, which is more than the 17.4. So if you can help us to get the cost in line, then the farmers will be able to buy more, and the consumers will get cheaper goods.
The JAS president, in the meantime, added his voice to calls for more farmers to be legally armed so they can help protect their animals and other property from thieves.
I don't think there should be any special provision for farmers. There should be a national provision laid out by the Firearm Licensing Authority. And so if the farmers meet that criteria, then they should be awarded firearm license just like anybody else.
Vendors at the Stony Hill Market say they are fearful that when the market is officially opened next week, they may no longer be permitted inside to conduct business. The market was declared open on Thursday after being closed for months to facilitate extensive refurbishing. Vendors say they have been made aware that those who once sold items other than food may no longer be allowed inside. A woman who calls herself Queenie says she has been selling clothes in the market for over 30 years, and it would be very unfortunate if she's prevented from further doing so.
I spent all my days in there when it was nothing. And if they turn it around now, I don't see why I cannot get back my stall. And I have my stuff to sell. Christmas is coming. We don't know if we are going or coming. And I would like to get my stuff to do my business. Because that's where I eat my bread.
Because they are changing up the system. I don't know what they are up to. So I come and sell my little things I hear that maybe I don't have a start, but it's here, that's all I have to say.
We were not able to reach the authorities for a comment, but we saw persons manning the facility who say the authorities are doing some fine-tuning and that a meeting will be held on Monday to advise the vendors of the way forward. Now we take a